calendar updates. This is just to see if I can go live here and also be able to go live on YouTube, forgetting the name there, so that I'm don't have to constantly be downloading and uploading everything. So trying to get smarter about this. So it seems I am live. So let me just share this, right? Let's see, to a few places and see if people will join us on this live. And thank you again for joining me here. Let's see, how else can I do this? So thank you for your patience. This is totally a new way that I'm kind of approaching this, seeing if this works. And if it doesn't work, I will figure out something new. So welcome everyone. This is Marita, one who catches lightning with the path of Ish, here for your Mayan calendar update, which is what I'm trying to do right now. So let me see if there's people on here. Moonwillow Loving podcast. Thank you. Yes, we have a podcast out. Super excited about it. Here we go. This is where I wanted to share it. Now we're ready to go. Okay, everyone. This is Marita, one who catches lightning with the path of Ish, here to give you your Mayan calendar update. I'm so happy that some of you have been able to check out the podcast. Super excited about that. Okay. And hi, Rhonda. Okay, so we are live. This is working. This is a new, like I said, a new way of coming on live onto Facebook. So thank you for your patience as I figure it out. So a few updates. Yes, we have a podcast. It's live. It's available on Apple, Spot, everywhere. It's called Walking with Your Shadow. If you are interested in joining, #podcast, and I will give you a direct link. Please please share. I've been asked, I'm doing this because I've had a lot of people ask me to be able to have access to more content, to more sharings, to more teachings. And so I sat down after a while and got together and organized myself, and I'm dedicating the time and the resources to do that. So please go check out the podcast. The podcast is not about the Mayan calendar. Once in a while, it might pop in because, of course, the Nahuales of the day are really important. And I speak of them a lot. But the podcast is much broader in its teachings. And it's not a podcast where you're going to go in and learn, like, here's an indigenous tradition and this is how you do it. It's not about that. It's really about how to live in a way that I have been taught from multiple cultures, multiple traditions, from growing up, really in that space in between of growing up in an indigenous culture, being born in a different country, growing up in the United States, being born in, again, that in between space that a lot of people fill and kind of don't feel like they're from here and from there. And so it's this opportunity to pass on the knowledge that I have been given for over 40 years as I have been trained. So thank you for joining me there in the podcast, #podcast. If you want more information or a direct link, please please share to get these teachings out there, right? And these teachings really are about how to walk, how to be, and how to have cohesion. So let's get into the energias that we've been feeling, right? We just had a very powerful new moon. And I feel like during the moon ceremony and a lot of my posts lately, there's this energy of, I've been talking a lot about the unknown, but for me, there's a familiarity I feel with this time, because this is the time that we've all been speaking of, dreaming of, working towards, to really see huge amounts of progress. And so we have this opportunity at this time to be able to be in this energy where that impossible dream that you had can be a reality. And it's not because it's some foo-foo out there thing. I think it's also because there's been a lot of people doing a lot of work over the past couple of years and doing their daily practices and making sure that they show up and getting help and being open. And I think that is the difference and the change here in the situation is that this unknown is really an openness from so many people holding space, and holding space the way I talk about it is a little bit different than what's out there in the popular culture. But really, prayer warriors that have been working, teaching, spreading this news to get us to this point. So, first of all, I want to thank all of them, all the teachers and the elders, many of whom are no longer present with us, who did this work for us, for humanity. And so it's with great humility that I share with you these teachings as a way of being, because many of my teachers have passed. Many of the teachers that I had that started me off on the Mayan calendar have passed. And so here's an opportunity to be united in that circle of life, in that circle of time, which is the Mayan calendar, and continue having the vibration of their energias and their teachings move onward and forward and be present here in the circle. As you can see, I don't know where to look because this is a new camera setup. So thanks for your patience. So today's Energia that we're working in, specifically today, we are in October 26th on this side of the world, is the number 11. Now, before I go into this, I don't do dream spells. The dream spell Mayan calendar that was created, I think, in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, somewhere around. I just do old school. That's what I was taught. That was the one that keeps going and has been handed down through my family through generation and generation. So I have people ask me about dream spell. I've looked at it a little bit, but I'm not familiar in dream spell. I'm just kind of old school, and so I go with old school. So the energia of the tone today of 11 comes after the tone of 10, right? 11 comes after 10, of course. But 10 is about really being able to manifest in this dimension, this, what we have, these things behind us, this material, dense matter space. And so, what do we do after we have been able to actually manifest in dense matter space? Well, then we have the courage to continue and take that next step. And how can this dense matter space things that we have manifested, that we need many times to exist on this planet, we exist on a planet of dense matter, but how can we use them to take the next step as we move in our relationships, move forward? And so sometimes it's small things like, for example, um, looking at how these dense matter objects connect us to something greater. So if you have a wood table or a wood chair or anything like that, can you not just see them as objects, as manifested dense matter of someone's idea? I had this dream of a chair. I went out to the woods, I cut down the tree and made it, and someone bought it. But can we go back and use this dense matter to be able to connect us back to the origin of that tree, to continue in our relationship, and so that there is flow again, flow. And we don't just get stuck in this idea of something was created and now it's useful. And when it's not useful, we let go of it. But really getting into the circleness of creation and relationship. And that's what the number 11 is here to help us with. Now that you live and have manifested in this dense matter, can you remember? And that memory is to connect you to all that was. Then we have the trecena, the 13 days that we are in the 11th day. So we're near the end of it. And it is the Energia of Imosh. Imosh is the crocodile. It is the nagual that goes into the waters, the primordial waters, the unseen. So that's really our sometimes our subconscious. Not sometimes. It is our subconscious, and it also goes into our reptilian mind. So many times we exist just at this frontal lobe, our thinking, 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 and people get stuck here and they forget that part of the journey that we have is to connect all of these parts, right? All the way from the back, the middle, and the front, right? And then connect that to the heart. So there's two journeys happening here, the connection of all of this, right? And once your mind is connected and not fragmented, and you know how to work with it and weave with it, then you can begin the journey of the head and the heart, right? And so this journey is really the journey that we are on this week of connecting the conscious and the subconscious and the primordial. And can we do so with wonder and awe and not reacting out of fear? So today we have the creative energy that is going to help us do that with the Energia Ba'ats. So, which is represented by the monkey. And the monkey is playful, energetic. It is considered one of the energias that is very, very creative. And so we bring in creativity in our into the potential of our unknown so that we can creatively be able to start changing what we don't know how to change. Can we be in this energy of the unknown, creatively finding new ways to be? So, this energia, right? These are not energies that are just here to be talked about as subjects or objects or just information. But can you truly get into an understanding that comes from building relationship? So how do you build relationship with an nahual, right? These shapeshifters. Instead of just keeping them kind of on the shelf or on the page or in that, you sit with them. You sit and you ask and you meditate. And one of the energias that you can meditate with is this energy of monkey, asking monkey, what do you have to show me about creativity? Asking Emosh, what do you have to show me about living with the unknown? And the more that you sit with them and sit with an open heart and open mind to learn from them, right? The more that you build that relationship, the more that they will teach you, the more that they will not just be objects or subjects or something that you check off the list of, oh, this is the Mayan calendar, but you'll start to breathe into a life cycle of creativity, existence, potentiality that has all of these 20-day signs. Nahual is there to help and direct you, as well as the tone. So you will have the energies combining, right? And this beautiful tapestry of how to live being a jaguar, how to live being an owl, how to live being a deer, how to live being, a monkey, how to live being a rabbit, right? How to live being a mantarraya, manta ray, mantarraya. And by learning how these beings exist within their kingdom and within the sphere of what is Mother Earth, we get to learn that there are multiple ways of life, multiple ways of existing. Some of them are really good problem solvers. And so you can go to them with your problems and ask, well, how did you solve this, crocodile? How did you solve this rabbit? How did you solve this owl? And learn from how they live, solve problems, exist, thrive, build communities. And so these kingdoms are truly here to be able to connect, to give you an example or a lens to be able to walk a different way. And that's how they bless us, with that knowledge. So now we have the three knowledges that we've explained, or the three intelligences, or the three energias, right? The two nahuales, the trecena, the day sign, and then of course, the tone. We don't go into more depth in these little lives that we do, but there's a lot more to learn behind them, and a lot more of the cosmology. And I teach classes on that as well. So today we're going to do a small meditation as we sit with these three tones after we take our three breaths, and be able to open up the circle and ask for help, ask for guidance. How do we do this now? How do I live with the unknown? How do I create from energy that I don't even know how it works? Right? And so that's what we will do today as we take this moment. Let's rub our hands together. And let us just breathe, and just breathe gently and see how you're feeling. As you breathe, just settle into wherever you are. Settle into your space. And take a moment to just be here now. So with that, we'll take our three breaths in and out through the nose, calling our mind, our body, and our essence into this time and place. And we will begin and do so now. First breath. In and out through the nose, bringing our mind into this time and place. In and out through the nose, bringing our bodies into this time and place. In and out through the nose, bringing our essence into this time, into this place. As you call your three parts, as we connect to the circle in the direction of the east, the south, the west, and the north, to open up this circle for us so that the guardians may keep this energy, as we humbly ask Mother Earth for a root, that to which we have earned. We step into this energy of Mother Earth rooting us, the energias of the directions opening up and holding us. And so we enter into the circle with our body, our mind, and our essence, and settle into this circle. So imagine them sitting around in a circle, and then let's add three more to the circle. We're going to add and ask with great humility that Imosh come into the circle. With great humility, we're going to ask the tone of 11 to come into the circle. And with great humility, we're going to ask the Ats, the Nahual of today, to come into the circle. And so, with these energies present, having conversation with your mind, your body, and your essence, can we learn how to be with the unknown as these three energies weave together to create that knowledge, that potential? Whether you're new to this practices or have done them for a long time, remember to stay present, to keep breathing, and to open up to possibility. You might get a message from crocodile or monkey that you've never gotten before. So this is an opportunity to just be here now. And as we breathe, We allow this dialogue, this connection to happen to help us, to remind us, to explain to us, what do I need to know now? How can I learn to exist from a different place now? Just breathe, be here. And as you get that information with gratitude and thanksgiving, let us thank the three energias that were here present. Imosh, bats, the number 11. And as we thank them, we release them back out of the circle, full of knowledge, full of an opportunity of knowledge, an opportunity to come back to the circle and sit here and make this practice a new way of how you learn. Sometimes we have to learn how to learn. Because if you are learning things in an old way with old conditioning, then it will keep a lot of the knowledge away from you, and all you will see, hear, receive is information. So sometimes we really have to look at our relationship with how do I learn and all the stories attached to that, right? Especially if you are someone who learns differently and might be called a different learner or a special learner. Our minds and the way that we take in information is vast. And unfortunately, we live in societies that try to create intelligence and box it in a certain way. Yet there is so much knowledge from people out there and from beings out there that we just have to learn how they process and how they teach and talk so we might receive that instead of expecting it to be delivered in a standardized way. Okay, so with that said in the circle and that witnessed, let us give thanks to all of the guardians who have been here, to the guardians of all of the directions who opened up the circle, to the east, the south, the west, the north, to Mother Earth for giving us that beautiful root and holding us as we find new ways to communicate, express, receive, and learn as we sit in the unknown, releasing that root as we take our 3 breaths again, in and out through the nose, thanking our essence for being in this time and space. In and out through the nose, thanking our bodies for being in this time and space. In and out through the nose, thanking our minds for being in this time and space. It is with gratitude and thanksgiving that I thank you, that I thank and honor all my teachers who have allowed me and given me permission to share this knowledge, share these ways, so that one day maybe you might accept them, allow them to teach you, allow yourself the freedom and relationship that many of them call you to a life of radical self love, self knowledge, self acceptance. And with that, thank you so much for joining me. My name is again Marita, one who catches lightning. They, them are my pronouns. I hope to see you here next week. I try to do these lives. I did them a little bit differently. Today, I used the restream that I haven't been using but paid for, so why not use it? Um, Usually I'm over at Mystical Grandedal Practices over there. On that page, you can find me there, here at the Path of Beach, over on YouTube if you want to follow. But also, please check out my new podcast. That's right. Walking with Our Shadow is live. There's 3 episodes up. If you have an iOS device, please check me out on Apple Podcasts. Give me five stars. Five stars. And if you feel so led, write a review. Please like, please follow, please share this podcast out. It is really my opportunity, my love letter, I guess you could say. That's what I wanted to say, and I stopped. It is my love letter to humanity at this time. It is my passion to be able to share all of this. And I hope that you receive this medicine in a good way and keep sharing this podcast to more people so that more people can hear these teachings and get the medicine and find a path and way of radical self love. Thanks again, everyone. Mahalo.